Yeah, he had a great run, and it's fun to watch. I think I watched Indiana State and Iowa. Caitlin Clark play about the same last year.
You called her garbage compared to Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
All the money and visibility she bring into the WNBA. Don't be petty.
From afar, and understanding just how much of a power she is out there on it almost robs her of like the rest of her game because she's such a good floor. She has her overall.
I thought you could ever have a better teammate than ML because he was the guy that would tell you if you wasn't practicing hard, if you would like to play, I will give you all the effort.
This young lady, the only thing she's doing, like you said, is out here. She's playing the game of basketball, and she's having fun doing it.
Y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girl.
How this moment, this environment meet your expectations today?
I mean, they always succeeded. I mean, they were amazing and just...
Larry Bird publicly declares Caitlin Clark is better than Angel Reese. Larry Bird didn't just make headlines, he detonated a basketball media bomb. In a rare and brutally honest moment, the Celtics legend outright said what many have danced. Around Caitlin Clark is better than Angel Reese. Bird compared Clark to Steph Curry, praising her deep shooting range, her court vision, and her overall control of the game. And when it came to Reese, silence. It wasn't just what he said, it was what he didn't say. The omission spoke louder than words. Bird's public declaration turned what used to be a spirited debate into a definitive statement. Social media erupted like it was the NBA Finals. It was as if a torch had been passed, or more accurately, ripped from the old guard. When Larry Bird speaks, it's not just commentary, it's gospel. And in his eyes, Clark isn't just ahead, she's in a league of her own. If Bird lighting the match wasn't enough, Steph Curry came through and poured gasoline on the fire. The three-point king himself gave Clark his stamp of approval, calling her must-see TV. Coming from Curry, that's not just a compliment, it's a royal endorsement. He highlighted Clark's near triple-doubles, her high IQ, and most of all, her limitless range. The fact that Curry, who literally redefined modern basketball with his range, is amazed by Clark's shot selection says it all. He even implied that Clark's pulling shots from spots that would make him hesitate. It was as if Curry was saying, she's not the next me, she's something else entirely. With both Curry and Bird in full agreement, the narrative shifted. This wasn't a rivalry, it was a coronation. And Reese, she wasn't even in the conversation anymore. Larry Bird went deeper than flashy highlights. He praised what really matters to him: grit, toughness, and hustle. Bird brought up past teammates like ML Carr, who held everyone accountable. He said the best players aren't always the most talented, but the ones who never take a playoff. And to Bird, Caitlin Clark is that kind of player. He sees in her the same fire, the same relentlessness that made his Celtics teams great. The implication was crystal clear. Angel Reese doesn't match that intensity. Bird wasn't just complimenting Clark, he was making a statement about character. To him, Clark embodies what it means to be elite. She's not just making shots, she's making a legacy. And when Larry Bird respects your work ethic, you're not just good, you're legendary. Then came Tim Hardaway, and he didn't hold back. He pointed out a moment when Reese was knocked to the ground, and none of her teammates helped her up. That, according to Hardaway, wasn't just an oversight, it was evidence of jealousy. He claimed that while Clark's teammates rally, behind her success, Reese's circle is filled with envy. Hardaway painted a picture of a divided locker room, one where tension brews and trust is fragile. Meanwhile, Clark leads with grace and maturity, commanding respect without drama. Hardaway's comments weren't just about team chemistry, they were about leadership. Clark is being praised by legends because she brings people together. Reese, on the other hand, might be struggling to keep her own team intact. That kind of difference isn't measured in stats. It's seen in how teammates won't respond. Charles Barkley stepped in with his usual no-filter commentary and dropped the hammer. He called out the women in the league who are acting petty toward Caitlin Clark. According to Barkley, instead of supporting the player who's bringing money, ratings, and fans to women's basketball, some players are too busy throwing shade. He said it bluntly. Stop being petty. Give her flowers. Barkley wasn't interested in the excuses or the drama. He was speaking from a place of experience. He knows what it means when a single player elevates an entire sport. And for Barkley, Clark is that player. His words added fuel to the fire. Now, it wasn't just Bird and Curry praising Clark, it was Barkley demanding that the rest of the league grow up and recognize her greatness before it's too late. Charles Barkley and Bill Simmons joined forces to call out the media frenzy surrounding Clark and Reese. They argued that what started as a healthy rivalry had turned into a toxic soap opera. The media, in their eyes, twisted every moment into a headline, turning competition into conflict. Simmons mocked how the loudest voices in the room often have the weakest takes, and how Clark's silence makes her even more powerful. Clark isn't engaging in the noise. She's not clapping back, she's playing. And ironically, that focus is what makes the drama around her look so ridiculous. Reese is trapped in controversy, while Clark is busy dominating the game. The contrast couldn't be clearer. And the message from these sports voices? If you're still trying to spin this as an even fight, you're not paying attention. Shaquille O'Neal is never afraid to admit when he's wrong. And this time, it was Caitlin Clark who humbled him. Shaq confessed he didn't believe the hype. At first, he thought her deep shots were flukes. But then he watched, and watched, and watched. And every time, she hit those shots. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Shaq said it best. I didn't think she was gonna hit it. And then, bam. The surprise in his voice turned into admiration. What impressed him wasn't just Clark's range. It was her consistency. The fact that she made the impossible look routine. And when a 4-time NBA champion and Hall of Famer says you've got something he's never seen before, you know the conversation is over. Clark didn't win. Him over with branding. She did it with buckets. Stephen A. Smith has had enough of the nonsense. He went on a fiery rant, slamming the idea that Clark is only popular because of her appearance or marketability. According to him, reducing Clark's impact to branding is not only wrong, it's offensive. He pointed to her stats, leading the league in assists, earning Rookie of the Year unanimously, and finishing top 5 in MVP voting. Those numbers don't lie. They scream elite. Smith made it clear that any league choosing marketing over merit is doomed to fail. And if Clark isn't the very definition of merit, then who is? To Smith, this isn't about popularity. It's about excellence. And those who say otherwise are either blind or biased. In a move that shocked fans and analysts alike, Caitlin Clark was not selected for Team USA's Olympic roster. Despite outperforming veterans like Diana Taurasi and Chelsea Gray, Clark was told she lacked experience or chemistry. The backlash was swift. People pointed out that Gray hadn't even played due to injury, and that Taurasi, though a legend, was clearly past her prime. Clark, meanwhile, was averaging more points and assists than both. The snub wasn't just questionable, it was political. A clear sign that the old guard wasn't ready to make room for the new queen of the game. But instead of complaining, Clark did what she always does. She kept playing, kept winning, and let the court tell the real story. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark let her game do the talking, and her stats scream louder than any critic ever could. She was unanimously voted Rookie of the Year. She led the league in assists. She finished 4th in MVP voting. And all of this in her first season. The same people who once called her overhyped are now scrambling for explanations. Clark hasn't just met expectations. She's demolished them. From Larry Bird to Shaquille O'Neal, from Stephen A. Smith to Charles Barkley, every voice that matters in basketball is now echoing the same message. Caitlin Clark is not just the best rookie. We might be witnessing one of the greatest careers ever beginning. The debate is over. The crown is hers.